Hi everyone, it's Catherine from Thunder Bay Counseling. I'm here today with Kristen, who is one of our financial counselors. And we want to talk today about financial counseling and mental health week because we know that they go hand in hand. So, Kristen, how do you see as a financial counselor, but also working with social workers and yourself being a social worker, how do you see them working together, mental health and financial health?
Yeah, so mental health and financial health for sure are related. One thing that I talk a lot about with my clients is that, financial health or any financial problems or concerns is usually kind of an undercurrent associated with other stuff going on. Life stuff happens and it's usually reflected in your finances. So just like you would take care of your mental health and well-being or your physical health, taking a look at your financial health too is important, especially because it is a big source of stress for people. Even in the best of times, it can be.
So do you find that clients come to you and they find that the financial aspect of their well-being is something that's sort of overwhelming and stressful for them?
Yes. So money and finances in general is something that people don't necessarily talk about, whether it's at home or with friends, family. It's kind of something that can be taboo to talk about. So that adds another layer of stress to it of, having questions or concerns and not really knowing where to go. So a lot of the clients that do come in to see me, it is based on, there being a source of stress related to their finances, or there's been a problem or an issue. And one way to kind of look at it is that, you know, stress around money can come and go with the different seasons of life. So it's not something that, at one stretch of time, you finally get all your finances together and you're on top of it, and then you're set to go for the rest of life. It is something that kind of changes. So there will be seasons of it being more stressful than others, and that's normal.
Absolutely. I mean, I guess it's kind of like physical health too. There will be times when maybe you're not so healthy, and sometimes when you're very healthy, but you still continuously need to be taking care of your health, right?
Yeah, for sure. And then something too is that, you know, financial health, the same as with any other, I guess, form of health, whether it's mental or physical, is not necessarily like the absence of a problem. It could be a more proactive approach to things too, where the same way as, like maybe exercising to you just exercise because it's healthy for you instead of exercising because you need to lose weight, something like that.
For sure. So, if there are people that are feeling the stress of finances, whether it has to do with the pandemic or whether it is something that's just been going on in their life,
Mhm.
what should people be doing if they're feeling that it's almost too late? They see the bills piling up, things are happening, and it just seems overwhelming. What are sort of the steps that they can take?
Yeah, so there's for sure a couple of different things. So, first of all, I think it's important to recognize that it's normal to feel overwhelmed at times by your finances or by money in general, or even to kind of, it's not uncommon for me to see people who are kind of constantly in a state of being worried or stressed or overwhelmed about their money. So, first of all, would be one thing in terms of feeling overwhelmed, I guess, is part of that is that a lot of the times when things have been piling up for a while, there's usually a tendency, or it's not uncommon for people to try to ignore it. And that adds to the stress or overwhelming feeling because you know that it's there, but you're not doing anything about it and not quite sure where the numbers are at. So one of the first things would be to, set up kind of a time or a space to open those envelopes and take a look at where everything's at, log into the online banking so that you have kind of a set time frame where that's what you're focusing on. That first part is the hardest part. It's never too late. There are always different options. The sooner you come in or the sooner that you take a look at things, generally you have an opportunity to take a more proactive approach where you might have more options. But there's always options regardless of what stage of things that you're at.
It's nice to have people like financial counselors or even just family members that are able to support, because we do know it can be overwhelming and stressful. So
For sure. So having our services are really targeted at providing neutral advice, so impartial, where um, we give you the information and all the options, and then it's up to you to decide what you want to do. We're not here to sell anybody on anything. It's really just to take a look at what you've got going on and then what your options are for moving forward based on what it is that you're looking to accomplish.
awesome. Yeah. So, like you said, sometimes this is something that is sort of ongoing in someone's life. But as we know with the pandemic, it's definitely something that is being brought up in quite a few people's lives. So, with all of the information that's out there, I know things feel like they're almost changing daily. How can people be accessing their COVID-19 supports? How do they know if they're eligible?
Yeah, so I guess the quick answer to that is that with things changing so frequently, it seems like on a daily basis, like you said, sometimes even on an hourly basis, that um, myself and the other financial counselors, we are keeping up to date with all of that as it comes up. So it is an option to just give one of us a call or an emailer to reach out, and we can take a look at what it is you're looking at getting connected with or what you might be eligible for, and we'll give you a hand with all of that. Yeah, we are keeping ourselves up to date with all that information.
It's definitely great to have those tips from you. So, thanks so much, Kristen.
Perfect, thanks.